is John Paul Wright. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan. Some people in the media are surprised that other people don't want to see Spider-Man be queer, as they put it in their words. Be gay, not like women, however you want to say it these days. I don't know. It's so controversial. People are so heated about using words. Just, let's get into it. So here you could see, and again, the Mary Sue. By the way, I have an account there. I like to kind of argue back and forth with people, and a lot of people that are subscribed to the Mary Sue and read the Mary Sue think exactly like the Mary Sue, and believe it or not, they get nasty. And when I leave a comment, I don't curse, I don't troll, none of that. I say please, I say polite things, and I express my opinion, and they say, oh, you're full of shit, you're a sexist, this and that. So I guess these people are a little uptight. We'll get to that someday. People are seriously opposed to a queer Spider-Man. Why? Well, some people say because Stan Lee created Spider-Man, and that's part of the reason. Let's respect the author. They go on to say in this article that Stan Lee only wrote 100 Spider-Man comics. So what? No big deal. Who cares what Stan Lee did? And it's not simply that Stan Lee created Spider-Man, it's that Spider-Man has been heterosexual and in a relationship with Mary Jane for decades. Not only that, there's no reason to change him. I always need to flip this question around. When people say, well, why not have Spider-Man gay? Why have him gay? That's the question. He's already not gay, so you have to answer the question, why should he be gay? And the answer to that would be because there's a lot of political things in movies and Hollywood and comics now, and it's being hijacked and it's being sold to the public as a message to say, hey, we're okay with sexuality and all these other things. Look at us. We're good companies. We're white knights. That's why, for their agenda, for their political correctness. There's no other reason. There's no logical reason. Why cancel a relationship between Spider-Man and Mary Jane, or Peter Parker and Mary Jane? You know, whoever you want to say in that case. Alright, let's read just a little bit of this. It's real long, so I'm going to give you like my main thoughts here. And alright, here we go. Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield, both famous for playing Spider-Man in movies, have one additional thing in common. They face backlash after suggesting that Peter Parker might not be straight. Well, he's straight. He's always been straight. How could he not be straight? It makes no sense. Garfield teased the possibility of a bisexual Spider-Man back before The Amazing Spider-Man 2 hit theaters in 2014, while Holland very recently, when asked if Spider-Man could be gay, replied in the affirmative almost enthusiastically. Almost enthusiastically. Why? Why would Tom Holland be enthusiastic like, yeah, he should be gay? Who is Tom Holland? Some dude who plays Spider-Man. The guy is like a dime a dozen as far as an opinion. So what? He plays Spider-Man. It means nothing. His opinion is just, okay, I play Spider-Man. Hey guys, up top with a political agenda, look at me. Look what I'm saying in the media. Look, hire me. I'm doing good, right? No, you're just saying what you think they want you to say, and do you really think that Tom Holland is enthusiastic about Peter Parker being gay? And why would that be? Do you think Tom Holland ever even thought of it before this whole agenda and wokeness got into Marvel? I don't think so. He probably just thought of it right there on the spot or something, or because the other dude said it in 2014, and now it's just messy. Let's take a little more of a look. So here's a tweet by just some guy. Looks like pretty cool Twitter account. Peter Parker isn't gay. There's 60 plus years of comics proving this. Stop ruining characters by playing politics. And that's the point, is that these are already established set characters. They've been like this forever. There's no reason to change them. If you want to have a gay person as a Marvel hero, that's cool. Make a new hero. Make an awesome hero. Maybe that hero gets bit by a spider too. Maybe he could be Spider-Person. Maybe he could be Spider City Fighter, whatever. But Spider-Man is Peter Parker, is a heterosexual. That's decided. And if you change that, it's just not Spider-Man. That's the fact. It's not even an opinion. It's not Spider-Man. It's not the same Spider-Man as we've had our whole lives for the 60s, 70s, maybe even the 50s. Not exactly sure. My father grew up with. Your parents grew up with, everyone grew up with, whatever your color, race, creed, gender, Spider-Man was Spider-Man to you. Then the Mary Sue goes on to say that it upset some of the community. Well, of course it did. You're changing the character. I mean, no matter what you change Spider-Man to, if it's not Spider-Man, I think they have a little bit of a right to be like, that's not quite Spider-Man. This guy says because Stan fucking Lee said so, so alright, I mean, I agree with that in principle, but like I said, it's not the whole reason. Just because Stan Lee said so isn't exactly the reason. It's because Stan Lee made that character, and that's how people received the character, and people grew to love the character over the decades, okay? If Stan Lee made a character and people were like, this character's not so good, Stan, it was like a low run, they didn't like the comics, they said, you know what, Stan, if that character was gay, an astronaut, a chef, an alien, it would be better, Stan, and, you know, it was received bad, then maybe we'd need a change, but Spider-Man was received, like, as an international super success as a superhero, so there's no reason to change that. The argument that Peter shouldn't be queer because Stan Lee didn't envision it seems more like an excuse than anything else, so they don't give a flying F-U-C-K or 1 ounce of respect for the creator of the character. It's an excuse. It's an excuse, so what? George Lucas thought Luke Skywalker should be a man, should be heterosexual. Oh, so what? Just George Lucas thought it. So what? How about R-E-S-T-E-C-P? I can't spell that, you know, that song, that respect song. Yeah, how about a little respect for the source material? How about that? Why these days are people not respecting the creator and the source material? It's almost like they're kids. It's almost like these like 9-year-old kids, and they just don't respect things. They don't know what came before them. They don't get it, and it's not okay because they're adults, and they're just like throwing out their silly opinion. And how many people are listening? I don't know. This article actually gets comments. I guess, like, let's see, there's some comments here. 174 comments. Not bad, but that's about what a YouTube video gets with something like 1,000 views. I mean, I could just name a channel off the top of my head, and let's say, I don't know, I don't want to name a channel, it's going to get me in trouble. Okay, but the thing is, you know, YouTube channel, 4,000 subs, 3,000 subs, 1,000-ish views, that's how many comments they get. So it's not like there's a ton of people reading this thing. Just some guy says there's no need for representation. All people need to do is look at Peter's experiences, metaphors, and apply them to their own lives. This isn't hard. It's called imagination, something progressives apparently lack. It's okay. They're homophobic. There are several groups in comic book fandom who are angry that their fandoms are changing. What they once perceived as a hobby for cachette white boys, again, they have to attack white. Why are they attacking white? This has nothing to do with white. This is about gay, straight. Gay, straight. And the Mary Sue keeps seeing this white, 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 white. What the F-U-C-K does you not liking Spider-Man being gay have to do with being white? I bet you any of my black buddies, my Mexican buddies, any of my boys who are out there who aren't white would totally agree that Spider-Man should not be gay, and the color of the skin has absolutely nothing to do with this one. In some cases, I see why they use white as far as execs in Hollywood, actors over the decades. I get that, but in this case, it has nothing to do with being white. This is a racist piece of trash, should not be allowed. Article, I mean, okay, freedom of speech and all, but, you know, why isn't this website getting attacked by companies who want it taken down and blocked and everything? They could just use white, 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 all they want when it has nothing to do with white. Is actually a diverse culture filled with all sorts of people, and all of them want to feel represented in a medium. Women, people of color, and the LGBTQ community. We all want superheroes to represent our lives in some... Why? What does women and people of color have to do with this article and Spider-Man? Okay, so LGBTQA does. Okay, I get that. That's about the sexuality. But why are they bringing women and people of color? What do women of color have to do with Spider-Man being gay and not gay? Please tell me. The answer is they don't. The answer is that Mary Sue keeps bringing this shit up because they're obsessed with putting down white people and white men especially. Which, by the way, you can't do without putting down white women because pretty much, I don't know, a large majority of white men have some kind of family somewhere, sister, mother, aunt, grandmother, so you're just putting them down too. So it's actually ridiculous. But while minorities have always had to identify with characters unlike ourselves, cachette white males who believe themselves to represent the entire fandom have not, despite how they say that other should learn to do it. But there's so many people who I just said, black friends of mine. If I take like my black friends for example, I've never heard someone say, yeah, there's just not so many blacks in Star Wars or Marvel, so I couldn't relate to any of those characters. Damn you, entertainment hacker. They're just like, no, these characters are awesome. These are the ones I like, these are the ones I don't like, and it's just pretty normal. This is not normal. Am I angry? I mean, not really. I'm just more irritated that people like this exist and they have these opinions and they're actually being quite racist. So they pretty much speak for me as a white boy in any way they want, and they assume everything I think. Totally assume everything I think. So anyway, yeah, this article's pretty long here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing and tell you guys what I think about each sentence. That would be really boring, because it's a boring item. Hold on. This ignored the fact that by this point there was already an Indian Spider-Man, a Japanese Spider-Man, Okay, I get it. There was different types of Spider-Man, but the one Spider-Man who is Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, is Peter Parker. He's straight. He happens to be white. And that's it. That's who he is. That's history, basically. So, social justice warriors want to change history. That's the point to take home, is they want to change history. You can't. History is done. You accept it. You could create your own crap. Well, not create your own crap, excuse me. They should be creating their own stuff. They could change what you did in history, but that can't change the history. So, anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this down below. A little bit of a ramble here, but, I mean, I'm not upset, because hey, what's done is done. What's going to happen? They could make him a gay, transvestite, robot living on Mars. It won't matter at this point. The original Spider-Man had his run. That point in time is pretty much over, and at this point it's out of the hands of the creators and people with common sense, it seems. So whatever happens is pretty much a joke at this point. Same thing with Batwoman on the CW. It's funny. I see so many videos, cringe, new cringe. It's not even cringy. It's so ridiculous already. It's funny. I laugh at it. No one's cringing anymore. That new trailer, the third trailer where she gets the tattoo, I wasn't cringing. I wasn't sitting there like, watch my first reaction. I was like, this is terrible. Second reaction, kind of laughing. Third reaction, this is hilarious now. It's so funny. I'm not cringing, basically. And that's how it's getting. It's getting to be comedy at this point. At first, I thought it was comedy, but on the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, it's cringy, it's this agenda, and now, yes, it is cringy as far as what they're saying and their message, but the actual content and what they're doing now isn't cringy because it's just hilarious. Anyway, I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that. Let's do a shout-out right now. Shout-out goes to Chewbacca Cabra. He's been supporting me for a long time. I don't know if we'll actually see this. Maybe. You watching, bro? You watching till the bitter end? Alright, anyway, cool guy. He's on Twitter. I will see you next time.